The more beauty you see in the world, the more beautiful you become. Makeup has your back. Number 2. I was 13. Full metal braces with springy rubber bands, zits on my forehead, and hair that didn't follow instructions. It was game day. I was on the junior high school kick line, and I had just finished putting on my blue eyeshadow and pink frosty lip balm. I looked in the mirror and gave myself a thumbs up. I walked into the kitchen, where Mom was cooking French toast for her most recent gentleman friend. He looked up from the paper and said, "Don't worry, kid, you'll be pretty someday." What a freaking jerk. After I pulled the knife out of my heart, I decided it didn't matter what that jerk thought. I loved how makeup made me feel, how it covered my zits and made my eyes sparkle, and mostly how it was a way to express myself. I was no Farrah Fawcett, but I was my own version of pretty. Daydreaming is working on stuff. Number 3. I was so skilled at daydreaming as a kid that at times I fear I would fall headfirst into a fantasy and miss dinner. My most prolific sessions were sitting in the back seat of the car, leaning into the window with the sun rays beating me into a trance. I would be living it up in my head, winning at track meets, speaking fluent Spanish, performing on stage without a hitch. In the 1980s, I heard that such imagining had a name: creative visualization. This technique looks a lot like spacing out. So naturally, people you live with may accuse you of being a sloth, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You are working on stuff. Daydreaming is a mystery trip with no goal and no destination. Who knows where you'll wind up? Your imagination is boss. Nowadays, for me, it's like taking a nap with the Dalai Lama or Bradley Cooper. Well, as long as I'm taking a nap with people. If someone in your home tells you to snap out of it, refuse. Tell them you're in a meeting of the mind. First jobs build character. Number 4. The minute I turned 16, I got my first real job, one where I paid taxes and got 25-cent raises. I adored my blue polyester pantsuit with fabric that breathed like a dragon. I was employed part-time at McDonald's, where I worked my way up from sweeping the parking lot to cooking burgers. I learned a ton, like how to upsell the apple pie. Sure, I was covered in grease after my shift, but the experience stuck with me. I could absolutely make a Big Mac today, and I can still sing the Big Mac song. One of my favorite things about the job, besides the outstanding teamwork and crushing the high-action lunch rush, was that I learned from a coworker how to do the multi-eyeshadow application technique using muted shades of purple. And I pierced someone's ear during my lunch break. Take pride in your first job. Footnote: I worked at 2 different McDonald's, which meant 2 different uniforms, one hamburger brown and the other powder blue. And we had hats. Ramble sometimes. Number 5. In the 1960s, my dad drove a black Rambler with a red interior. We didn't wear seatbelts back then, and there was a nice-sized hole in the floor. It was so cool. When we looked down, we could see the street speeding beneath us on our way to Buddy Burgers. Rambler was an odd name for a car. Definition of ramble from the internet: move aimlessly or without any specific destination, often in search of food or employment. This did not describe my dad. He was a beloved high school biology teacher and the most fun dad on the block. He would sing and dance in the grocery store, teach us how to sketch comic book characters, and bring home candy on Friday nights. Best dad ever. Everyone loved Dad. Except Mom. They were divorced in 1972, 1 month before my 10th birthday. While my mom was freed from the confines of an unpredictable husband who did things like buy a used car with a hole in the floor, we kids were stunned by the sudden turn of events. It was a confusing next couple of years, decades, because he loved his kids more than life, but he chose to leave for good. The divorce was never discussed, and we were expected to carry on. Some people